lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go, show recaps, predictions, sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go.
What is going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we are live with your NXT recap for the second time. I don't know what happened the first time. StreamYard was like, I went to go live, and it said, this has been canceled on YouTube. So, I have no idea. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I put it. It wasn't in my StreamYard twice, so I had to remake the stream. So that was that. Trying to go in and delete that. Let's see. I think I did that. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I put it in twice. I'm looking at my YouTube channel to make sure that everything is good to go. Hopefully you guys had a good Tuesday. Happy All-Star game, which has been absolutely atrocious and boring. Checking to see. Yes. It still says scheduled. Not sure. I don't know. It says we're live, so I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it is. It anybody in the comments? Okay, so you guys can see it live on YouTube, right? Hey Kyle, what's up, brother? Shout out to Greg and Kyle, the host and co-host of the Rundown every Monday, 7 p.m. So what happened is I went live. I texted Greg. I was like, I'm going live, like I've been doing, and I went live, and then I got a red alert, and it said this stream's been canceled on YouTube, and I was like, what the hell? So I went to StreamYard. I was like, well, it was set up, so like, then I went back to YouTube, and it looks like it was on there twice. But I don't know. I had to remake the entire stream. So are you? I'm taking it. You guys see it on YouTube because Kyle is commenting from YouTube. But when I go to my page, it still says upcoming. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on with it. Hopefully it will sort itself out at the end of the night, at the end of the stream. Not sure. Started a little early, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you to Greg for reposting the stream. Make sure you can follow him on X and tune in to him and Kyle Anthony every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern for the rundown, as they run down the entire Raw card for you guys. NXT, wild finish, wild main event, a lot of surprises. Obviously we know that Layla Diggs was injured yesterday, or not yesterday. Yeah, maybe it was. And she was going to be replaced. A lot of speculation. They pretty much did the best possible way just to throw several people in there. Nikita looked really good. A lot of people don't like her, but she looked really good to me in the ring. I love Nikita. I think she's great. Izzy Dame and then Lizzie Rain. So all of those kind of make sense from a standpoint. We kind of talked about it on Queens of WWE. Gonna see that second match next week with Natty and Jada Parker. I'm a little stunned about the main event. Not gonna lie about that. That one definitely threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting Lola to win. She's got a lot of work coming up in AAA. I mean, are they gonna put that match off all the way off to the end of August to Heatwave? Like, is that going to be Lola's send off? You know, I've heard her and Tatum Paxley and maybe Kalani go up after SummerSlam, but Heatwave isn't until the end of August, so I don't know. We'll see. If you are watching live on YouTube, please hit that like button on the stream. NXT seems to be struggling a little bit with YouTube views, but that's common. Not everybody watches NXT, which they should, because they have the best women's division in professional wrestling, but not a lot of people watch it. So it is what it is. Shout out to everybody that tuned in to the Raw recap last night. The analytics were through the roof. When I checked this morning, talked to Kyle. Me and Kyle made a joint decision on the recap for Raw. He is more of a evening, morning type person, so you will see him on the Raw recap from time to time, but it will not be every week. Just because those shows go really late, and he just gotta, I don't know, it's tough. It's really tough. You probably will see Kyle maybe once a month on the Raw recap. Just whenever he feels like he wants to come on. So obviously no pressure. I do the recaps. So obviously if they're, the weeks that Kyle don't come on, if anybody wants to come on and recap, they're more than welcome. I enjoy having a guest, but at the same time, I can also do it by myself as well. So either way, the last 3 weeks with Kyle have been great. The analytics have been fantastic on the Raw recap. We had quite a bit of views on Twitter. YouTube got around 50 or so, but the analytics, like comments and retention time and stuff like that, was really good last night. So shout out to Kyle. It was actually shorter than last Monday's stream, so by about 20 minutes. So shout out to Kyle for coming on. Obviously, you won't see him this coming up Monday. You will see him twice tomorrow, though. You'll see him first here on the EVP show at 6 p.m. Eastern. You'll see a lot of us, 10 of us, for the you will see him tomorrow on the EVP show at 6 p.m. Eastern. It will be me and Kyle, Miami, Carlos, Stampede, Sean, DJ Khaled. Let's see. I'm not looking at the list first off, but it's quite a bit of us. I believe it's 10 of us. Miami. For the Saturday Night Main Event prediction show at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna be honest, guys. It's 4 matches, so we're gonna do the best we can do with 10 people. But I do want to continue on with the prediction show. SummerSlam is coming up 2 weeks. 2 weeks from tomorrow will be the SummerSlam prediction show. So I'm telling everyone right now in advance, when I make that post, be prepared for that to be close to an hour and a half to 2 hour stream, because we are going to be predicting the entire SummerSlam card. I'm not separating them. It's just too much work on everybody involved. I'm doing one prediction show, and I'll recap night 1 of SummerSlam and recap night 2, just like I did with WrestleMania. So, but yeah, you'll see Kyle tomorrow as a guest here on the prediction show, and then I'll be joining him every Wednesday, and obviously tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for the Queens of WWE episode number 5. I was shocked about the main event. I was. Kalani just can't ever seem to get over that hump. I don't understand it. Lola's done everything she can do in NXT. Maybe this is just a send-off. Maybe she just wants to get beat by Kendall again, because that's exactly what's going to happen. She is not taking the title back from Kendall Gray. They are not taking the title off her anytime soon. So I expect the match to be great. It's not that I'm disappointed. I do love Lola, but I don't think that was the right choice. I don't. Personally, I would have preferred not Callie yet. I didn't think Callie was winning. She's still fairly new in NXT. Plus, her and Kendall's has a couple of matches in Evolve. When Kendall was undefeated on Evolve, so it had to have been Kalani. I don't know what they do with Kalani from here. I mean, she's had opportunity after opportunity to get in a title match, and she just can't get the job done. So where do we go from here? Maybe they do some sort of angle where Kalani gets in somehow. I don't know. Triple threat. I don't know. We'll see. It's a long time from Heat Wave, so I don't want to speculate on that. Don't have much of an NXT intel, so but yeah. Also, just a couple comments. Kyle said everyone will hear from me and you tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, probably once a month. During SummerSlam, he may come on more than once. we'll see. It just depends on what happens on Raw. Sometimes the Raw sucks. I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to stay up till 2 a.m. either. It's really difficult. I sleep a lot during the day because I'm up late. I'm really glad that I got rid of TNA now and doing Big Brother on Thursdays because I can be done with Big Brother's show by like earlier than when I would have started TNA, and I can still have the rest of my Thursday night and then all the Friday to get ready for SmackDown. So I'm super excited about that. Even though most of you guys probably don't watch Big Brother, it's going to be a different crowd. Big Brother's been around for 28 years. 45, so it's a pretty big crowd. Just a long time for a show to be. Normally you don't see shows last that long. So 28 seasons. Since I was 17 years old, that's when it started. So I've been watching it since I was about 19. And the community on X for Big Brother is just absolutely insane. So I'm hoping I can reach out to that community somehow. I don't know how. If there's anybody that can probably figure out a way, it'll probably be Greg, because he is the best, one of the best, if not the best I've seen at promotion and marketing. That's why he is the marketing and promotional director for DWE. But there's Big Brother communities out there everywhere. So I tag in Big Brother communities, Joker's updates, reality barbecue. I'll probably send some names to Greg and Instagram. Yeah, I do have my hat on weird tonight. It's a little chilly in the crib. So I have the hat on a little. I don't know if you guys watched the All-Star game, but God, I hope Junior Caminero is okay. He got drilled by a 98-mile-an-hour fastball in the looked like his left hand. Hopefully it's not broken. So All-Star game is boring as hell though. So yeah, I'll get with Greg before Thursday, before the Big Brother. So he's the one that handles a lot of all the promotional marketing and stuff for like the hashtags and stuff. The Big Brother community is probably bigger, if not as big as WWE. I'm just gonna tell you right now, it's pretty damn close. I've seen over 100 Big Brother pages on Twitter today. So I think it's a great idea to bring reality TV not only to my channel but to DW Network. It's something different. It brings a different crowd in. A lot of them could be wrestling fans as well, so we're kind of integrating. So I'm looking forward to it. Shout out to Greg for reposting the stream. He is the best there is. I love Greg. Thank you, Greg. Travel Kingpin. We will be tuned in. EVP, man, I don't, I was talking to Kyle this morning on the phone and just going over some analytics with him on my YouTube channel. Obviously, I think I need about 150 more thousand views to hit the 1 million views all time, like permanently, since I've opened the channel. But the analytics, like I was explaining to them, like kind of how analytics work and stuff on YouTube. Sunday Night Scoops, it doesn't get the most YouTube views, which the last 2 weeks has been really good because Greg is awesome at marketing and directing through all the social media platforms. That he's just top of the line when it comes to that. So I definitely appreciate him for that. Sunday Night Scoops is blowing every show out of the water. Every show. It's not even close. I mean, it is not even close. My retention rate is in the 30% on Sunday Night Scoops, which is fucking just unbelievably high. So that means I'm doing my job right, because retention rate means that how long the viewers are actually staying and watching the entire show. You see something on YouTube, you kind of click it, you're like, I might watch a few minutes of it and then go to something else. Like 30-something% retention rate is just absolutely insane for a 2.5-hour show every single Sunday. So shout out to you guys. That's why I did a giveaway. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get another giveaway this week. We didn't get to the 10 likes where we were at 8 last week, and looks like we're at 7 this week. So I don't know if you guys can get me to 10 before Sunday. I may do another giveaway for that 1 month exclusive membership. I have had 6 people today sign up for the exclusive news. A lot of stuff that I posted before Raw happened on Raw that everybody in the Discord saw, and a lot of people that had rights to see everything in the Discord, they all got stripped because people leak. There was one person in particular that was taking screenshots from my channel and sending them to other people. I'm not going to name names of who those screenshots were sent to, but my news is a paid channel. It's $3 a month. I have close to 20 now, I think, paid. And I'm not even through half a month yet. So it's good stuff. There's 400 people in that Discord. Hopefully it continues to grow and people enjoy the news in July and they come back in August because it's no contract. So if you're not signed up, make sure you get signed up. I don't know if Kingpin's in there or not, but hopefully maybe he can get in there if we have another giveaway. Another announcement before we get into NXT, and this is a big one. I haven't really shared it. I talked to Miami about it a little bit. Obviously there's going to be a giveaway August the 1st for everybody from Sunday Night Scoops, because that's my #1 show. It's damn sure not going nowhere. I don't care how big my exclusive channel gets. Sunday Night Scoops is what is bringing the majority of my watch hours to YouTube. So it's not going nowhere anytime soon. So thank you to everybody that shows up. 287 comments Sunday. That's just absolutely insane. That's a lot of questions to answer, but I don't mind. But the big announcement is gonna save it for a little. Well, it's better for me to just go ahead and let it out right now. So I told you guys about a month and a half ago, if you guys can get me to 300 subscribers. The goal of SummerSlam, I don't think I'm going to get there. I'm really trying. I believe I'm at 248, 249, something like that. I'm right at the 250 mark, halfway to 500. But when I get to 300 subscribers, I will do a giveaway for $100. $100. I will take everyone that's active. I'm not going to be unfair to people that just subscribe to my channel and I never see them. I can see who watches and who don't. I'm going, and it's probably over half at least. I'm going to take everybody, put them in a randomizer. Randomize it probably 10, 15 times, something like that. And we're going to get a winner. Every time we move up to another 100, I mean, it's not going to be $100 every time. But when we get to 500, that's when we're really going to bump it up there a little. It's definitely going to be higher than 100 when I get to 5. So if you are subbed to me, share with your friends. If you want a chance to win that $100, as soon as I hit that 300, as soon as I get above that, because sometimes YouTube fluctuates. Like I was on the phone with Kyle, I was at 247, 248, and at the end of the call, I was at 247. It's like, what the hell? Somebody unsubscribed in the middle of our phone call. When I get to 300, there will be a giveaway. When I get to 400, there'll be a giveaway. And when I hit that milestone that I really want to hit, which is 500, there will be a bigger giveaway. So make sure you guys are sharing this. If you're coming in here, enjoying my content, make sure you guys are sharing it with all your friends. It is at the top of my Twitter page. Retweet it, quote tweet it. It's on Instagram. You see all my handles on the bottom. You can find me there. If you can't find me, get with Greg, get with Kyle, get with Miami. Final Boss Baby, any of the or Director Reg, any of those, they can find me. If you can't, which if you don't see me in chats, then I don't know what you're doing because I'm everywhere. Just help me get to 300, and I will compensate everyone for helping me out. So thank you guys. Thank you, Greg, for reposting the stream again. Yeah, I don't know. StreamYard was playing up, so thank you for the patience. I told Greg I was going live, and I did, like, as soon as I told him, and then it kicked me. So let's go ahead and get started. This is your NXT recap for Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. Wild night. Wild night. Wild night. So as always, the NXT is live from the Capitol Wrestling Center, the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. We're going to see the WWE NXT Tag Team Champions, the Vanity Project, Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes, defend their titles against Super Sean Legacy and Dorian Van Doo. Tribal Kingpin called him RVD last night because Dorian Van Doo was part of the LFG recap last night. So that was funny. Good stuff. Plus, we're going to see the AAA, one half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champion and the former Women's NXT Champion Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, and Too Strong Callie Armstrong will face each other in a Women's WWE NXT Women's Championship #1 Contenders triple threat match. That was the main event. We're going to see Naraku go one-on-one with Tate Wilder. I love that match. I've covered Tate a lot in LFG this season, so he does good. He's definitely come a long ways. And it was scheduled to be the for the WWE NXT Women's North American Championship. It was supposed to be Zarya versus Layla Diggs, but Layla was injured. Best wishes to Layla. We will go over how that was handled. Ended up being a banger match, though. So we have Vic Joseph and WWE Hall of Famer Booker T on commentary. They welcome us, and we see the pre-show arrivals of the former Women's NXT Champion Lola Vice, Zarya, Callie Armstrong, and Kalani Jordan. So let's get it started. In the first match, it will be for the NXT Men's Championship. The Vanity Project make their way down to the ring. Obviously, they are accompanied by Jackson Drake and Mika Lockwood. Mika is everywhere where Jackson Drake is. So if you see Jackson, you're going to see Mika Lockwood. Mika Lockwood was actually on LFG last night as well. She goes by Bailey Humphreys on LFG. So, but they are followed to the ring by their opponents and #1 contenders, Sean Legacy and Dorian Van Doo, otherwise known as RVD. So this is for the so how we got here is Sean Legacy and Dorian Van Doo won a fatal 4-way last week to become the #1 contenders. So all right. So all 4 men are in the ring. Obviously, the numbers game are going to favor the Vanity Project. The match starts off with Sean Legacy and Ricky Smokes. Sean Legacy hits Ricky Smokes with a drop kick. Brad Baylor is then tagged in. He's a legal man. Sean Legacy tags in Dorian Van Doo, who hits a big slam to Brad Baylor. Dorian Van Doo then hits a drop kick and tags in Super Sean Legacy. The Vanity Project then corners a Legacy and finally gain the upper hand. Legacy then tries to fight back and hits a shoulder tackle on Ricky Smokes. He then slams both men down to the mat with Dorian Van Doo hitting a leg drop. Legacy then hits a standing moonsault, goes for the pin, but only gets a count of 2. Legacy then hits a thunderous chop on Ricky Smokes. Brad Baylor is now on the apron, and he eats a step-up enziguri. Nice move there. Sean Legacy then wipes everyone out on the outside, back in the ring. Sean Legacy and Dorian Van Doo completely obliterate Ricky Smokes in the corner. But then this is where the numbers game comes to play, guys. Mika Lockwood distracts the referee, allowing Jackson Drake to take a cheap shot at Sean Legacy. The Vanity Project has taken control now. They continue to beat down on Super Sean Legacy. Brad Baylor then drops his shoulder into the midsection of Sean Legacy. Ricky Smokes continues to assault Sean Legacy in the corner. Ricky Smokes then applies a rear chin lock in the middle of the ring. Brad Baylor then hits a jumping knee right under the jaw. Ricky Smokes then follows it up with a drop kick for only a count of 2. Dorian Van Doo then hits a crossbody to Brad Baylor. He then follows it up with a back body drop to the Vanity Project. Dorian Van Doo then hits Ricky Smokes with a clothesline. He then hits a springboard moonsault on Brad Baylor and goes for the pin, but only gets a 2 count. Dorian then heads to the top rope and launches himself, but runs into an elbow. Brad Baylor then hits him with a code breaker. Ricky Smokes with the tag, hits a spear, but Sean Legacy breaks up the pinfall. Dorian Van Doo then hits a superplex to Ricky Smokes. He heads to the top rope and hits a splash up the top rope. And then Sean Legacy goes up top himself, and then he hits a 450 splash, but Brad Baylor breaks up the count before we get new tag team champions. Sean Legacy and Ricky Smokes are then going back and forth in the ring. Dorian Van Doo then tosses Brad Baylor across the ring. Both men then hit a double suicide dive, wiping out the Vanity Project. Sean Legacy launches himself over the top rope, taking out their opponents again. Back in the ring, Dorian Van Doo knocks out Jackson Drake, who is trying to get involved again. Mika Lockwood, involved again, then sends him over the top rope. Brad Baylor then sends Sean Legacy into the steel steps. Ricky Smokes then hits a stomp on Dorian Van Doo for the 1, 2, 3. So the winner and still your WWE NXT Tag Team Champions, the Vanity Project, Ricky Smokes and Brad Baylor with the assist from Jackson Drake and Mika Lockwood. They've been champions a while. Vanity Project have held those tag titles for a while. I'm talking about a while. Fully expect OTM to be the one to take the titles off of them. I really do. Unless we get Enzo and Cass down there, and then it's over with for Vanity Project. But I don't think that's where they're going. I think they're going to the main roster. It looks like from Big Cass's post, looks like it's going to be the day after SummerSlam. So we then see Miles Bourne, the WWE NXT Men's North American Champion, and he's telling Tavion Heights he thought Sean Legacy and Dorian Van Doo were going to win. Miles then says Tavion will take care of Jackson Drake tonight. Tavion then says he knows a tag team that could win those titles, referring to him and Miles Bourne. Then we get Maxine Dupree's husband, who is made a vicious statement today on social media. If you guys didn't catch it, on the segment from Maxine and Otis that was posted all over social media, Cam Hendricks made a 3-word statement. He said WTF. So who knows? Could be more than likely it's kayfabe. They seem to be. Cam seems to be. It's acting at the end of the day. So, but it does take a strong individual to watch that, especially if you're married. So, Cam Hendricks, husband of Maxine Dupree, shows up. He mentions he pinned Miles Bourne in his first match on NXT. He then says he might have to go to Robert Stone and ask for a title match. Cam then says he is about 82%, whatever that means. Tavion then tells Miles to think about what he said about the tag title. So could Miles Bourne, which I'm sure everybody is aware is also dating Stephanie Vacour, could Miles Bourne become a two belts in NXT? I don't know. I still think that Tavion is going to eventually turn. I do think he's ultimately going to be the one to take that North American Championship away from Miles Bourne at some point. Don't know when, but at some point. So we see Tristan Angels in the back. Obviously, I covered Tristan Angels last night on LFG with Dorian Van Du as well. So good. And Tate Wilder. I covered 3 other people on the show tonight on LFG last night. So that's good stuff. LFG is bringing the talent in. It's good to see. We see Tristan Angels in the back. Then we see Taquan Sugars, and he says he is shocked by Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. Saquon then says he found his tag partners, and Bronco and Lucien say they are not going to do it. Birthright come up and they argue with Bronco. They begin arguing with Bronco and Lucien. Lexus King then asks if Bronco told Lucien about going to AAA, trying to start the pot. He then says Bronco is doing it for his family. Lexus King then brings up Bronco's brother, and he says that Lucien might need a family of his own. Stirring a pot. He then says there is a crack in the foundation for Lucien and Bronco. Is there? Remains to be seen. Birthright stirring the pot as always. So, speaking of Tristan Angels, he is now in the ring, and he starts off by saying, God clearly has a strange sense of humor for creating men like Shallow Hill, the season 2 men's winner of LFG. Tristan Angels says the good Lord was clearly so overcome with remorse that he sent him. He then shows off Shallow Hill's tooth that always comes out of his mouth during his matches. Tristan Angels then says without Shallow Hill's tooth, everybody can see what he truly is. Tristan says Shallow was never fit to stand across the ring with somebody like him. Tristan then stomps on Shallow Hill's tooth. I don't know how good that's going to do. Tristan. Shallow then appears on the big screen, and he is being very demented and wild and crazy. And he says losing the tooth helped his mind. Shallow then says he can fix his smile, but Tristan Angels can't fix the fact that now the fog is coming. And he kept repeating that with some sort of sinister type laugh after it. It was very disturbing there from Shallow Hill, but good stuff. Shallow Hill's got a big, huge feature in NXT, and hopefully one day on the main roster. Good segment there. Continuing that feud as I spoke about on Scoots with Shallow and Tristan Angels moving forward. We then see several women in the NXT General Manager Robert Stone's office. They're arguing about who is going to get that shot at Zarya tonight since Layla Diggs is hurt. Natty, low-key legend Natty, says Layla earned the spot for the group. She then says that Nikita, the WWE Women's Evolved Champion, should step up. Izzy Dame then chimes in, says she was never pinned in the match, and she is the only one in the room who has won that NXT North American Championship. Lizzie Rain begins to argue with Izzy Dame. They all just so many women in there, just so upset, going back and forth. Robert Stone said enough. Robert Stone says this is the way it's going to go down tonight. He says Zarya will defend the Women's NXT North American Championship in a fatal 4-way match against Izzy Dame, Lizzie Rain, and the WWE Women's Evolved Champion Nikita Lyons in a fatal 4-way match. And it was a banger. So then we see Tate Wilder, who I covered last night. He had a match on LFG. Not last night, Sunday night. Sorry, I'm getting my days mixed up. It's already been a long week. Tate Wilder. He says if he can beat the former #1 contender, that is a risk he is willing to take. And that's something that they talk about a lot on LFG is Tate Wilder is a huge risk taker. So Tate Wilder then makes his way down to the ring for the next match of the night, and he is going to go up against Io Sky's husband, Naraku. Evil. So this is a big match for Tay Wilder. Singles match. Both men are in the ring. Obviously, next week, we're going to get Naraku challenging Tony D'Angelo for the men's NXT championship in a street fight. That will be the main event next Tuesday on NXT. So, both men are in the ring. The match starts off with Naraku throwing Tate Wilder to the mat, slapping the taste completely out of his mouth. Naraku then hits a right hand. He follows it up with a chop. Tate Wilder then hits an arm drag. Tate then hits a flying clothesline. He follows it up with a standing drop kick. He then goes for a suicide dive, but runs into a forearm from Naraku. Tate Wilder then hits a double stomp to the spine of Naraku. Back in the ring, the referee checks on Naraku, who is favoring his lower back. Is he playing possum or is he really hurt? That was a ruse. Just like I just said. Was he playing possum? And he was 100% playing possum. As Tate Wilder runs into a big boot from Naraku, Naraku then sends Tate Wilder into the steel post. Back in the ring, Naraku hits a German suplex for a count of 2. He then follows up with a neckbreaker, goes for another pinfall, but Tate kicks out at 2. Naraku still begins to pound away at Tate, and he hits a fisherman suplex on Tate. He then hits Tate Wilder with a series of chops in the corner. Naraku then continues to beat down onto Tate Wilder. Naraku then applies a crossface in the middle of the ring, then puts Tate Wilder down with another vicious Gunther-like chop. Naraku then applies a rear chin lock. Tate Wilder, as he did on LFG Sunday, tries to fight back, but collapses. Tate Wilder then hits a sling blade, and both men are now down. Tate Wilder putting up a fight. Tate Wilder then hits a sling blade into a backbreaker, and he follows it up with a snap suplex, and he goes for the pinfall on Naraku, but only gets a count of 2. Tate Wilder then hits a high crossbody, but Naraku kicks out again at 2. Tate heads to the top rope, taking a risk, but Naraku sends him all the way to the outside of the ring. Once they're back in the ring, Naraku hits and entering the abyss to Tate Wilder for the 1, 2, 3. Naraku is victorious, but Tate Wilder put up a good fight against the now #1 contender again, Naraku. After the match is over, we see the WWE NXT Men's Champion, Tony D'Angelo. He comes in and attacks Naraku, and security comes into the ring to get attacked by Tony D. Naraku then spits that mist at Tony D'Angelo, but misses and hits a member of security. As I said, next week, in the main event, we're going to see Tony D and Naraku in a street fight for that NXT Men's Championship. Tony D absolutely came out of nowhere. So, good match, good segment. Can't wait for that street fight next week on NXT. We then see one half of the what do they call themselves? Something the belly bros or something like that. Hank Walker, one half of the former NXT Tag Team Champions with his, I guess it's his brother or cousin or something, Tank Ledger. We see Hank Walker, and he says he is going to take care of Keanu Carver. EK Prosper shows up. He warns Hank about Keanu. Tank Ledger then says Keanu is not going to stop. Hank then says he is going to get revenge for what happened. Saquon Sugars shows up. He then says he believes in Hank. He then says they have had issues in the past, and he needs partners for the 6-man tag team match next week. And this is something that Saquon Sugars talked about last week in his interview with Emily Agard from NXT. He said he's going to have difficulty finding any friends because Dark State burned everybody backstage. So you can see in this episode, they're following up with that with Saquon Sugars as he's basically looking for two partners to go against Dark State next week, and nobody's wanting a team with them because of everything that Dark State did to the roster backstage. So Saquon tells, as I said, he says he believes in Hank. He says they have had issues in the past, but he needs partners for a 6-man tag next week. Tank tells Saquon he can't trust him. Tank then says they cannot help him. Saquon is still on his own at this point. So we're going to move on to the next match of the night, and it will be for the Women's NXT North American Championship. It is a fatal 4-way match, which it was supposed to be originally. Zarya defending against Layla Diggs. So it's going to be Izzy Dame making her way down to the ring first, followed by Lizzie Rain, Nikita Lyons, and then your WWE Women's NXT North American Champion, Zarya, in a fatal 4-way. This match was fantastic. So the match starts off with Lizzie Rain hitting a chop to Izzy. Zarya hits a big boot to Izzy Dame. Lizzie Rain then hits Zarya with a back elbow. Now Nikita Lyons hits Lizzie with a spinning heel kick. Nikita then follows it up with a forearm to Izzy. Izzy then hits Nikita with the backbreaker and goes for the pin, but Nikita kicks out. Nikita then hits a Michinoku driver to Izzy. Zarya then enters the fray. She hits Lizzie Rain with a headbutt. She then charges right back in. Lizzie Rain then hits her with a flying elbow. Nikita Lyons then hits a German suplex. Zarya then hits Nikita Lyons with a clothesline. All 4 women are now going at each other. The fight then ultimately spills to the outside of the ring. Nikita Lyons on the outside drops her shoulder into the midsection of Lizzie Rain. Lizzie Rain then sends Nikita into the steel steps. Zarya and Izzy Dame are then going back and forth on the other side. Back in the ring, finally, Zarya drops her shoulder into the midsection of Lizzie Rain and follows it up with a backbreaker. Then Zarya and Nikita Lyons then both apply a double submission on Lizzie Rain and Izzy Dame. Then they are then trying to fight free, and Zarya hits Nikita Lyons with a super kick. Nikita gets back up and runs into a big boot. Izzy Dame then runs into a big boot. Lizzie Rain then fires an uppercut to Zarya. She then hits a Hurricane Rana into the cover for a count of 2. All 4 ladies in this match were phenomenal. If you didn't know that Zarya was the dominant force that just won the title, it looked like at any particular point in this match, at any 4 of these ladies, especially Nikita, she's the one that I thought, oh man, they're about to pull off a huge upset here, especially when Natty and them come out. But then I knew Jada was coming, so she hits a Lizzie hits an uppercut to Zarya, then hits a Hurricane Rana into the cover for a near fall. All 4 women are now down and out in the ring. Once they're all back up, they begin exchanging strikes in the middle of the ring. Lizzie Rain then hits a roundhouse kick to Nikita Lyons. She then sends her face first into the side of the ring. Zarya then goes for her finisher, the F5. Shout out to Greg for reposting. She goes for the F5, but Izzy Dame fights out of it. Both women are now down after running into each other. Lizzie Rain then heads to the top rope, and she hits a double missile drop kick. She then hits a series of chops to Zarya and Izzy Dame. She hits Izzy Dame with a German suplex. She then hits a spine buster on Nikita Lyons. Lizzie Rain then hits Zarya with the DDT. Izzy then steamrolls Lizzie Rain. Lizzie Rain fights back, hits a cutter to Izzy. Nikita Lyons then breaks the fall with a leg drop. Zarya then runs into a clothesline. Izzy Dame then eats a super kick, and Nikita Lyons is fired up. Nikita then hits a Hurricane Rana to Zarya, sending her into Lizzie Rain in the corner. She then heads to the second rope, but Zarya catches her and goes for an F5, but Izzy Dame then breaks that up and hits a basement drop kick to Nikita Lyons. She then follows it up with a backstabber to Lizzie Rain and a choke slam, but Zarya breaks up the pin at 2 3/4. Izzy Dame almost became the NXT North American champion again. Zarya and Izzy Dame are now exchanging strikes in the middle of the ring. Zarya then hits a huge, vicious knee. She then hits a headbutt to Lizzie Rain. Zarya then hits a clothesline to Nikita Lyons. She then hits a German suplex to Lizzie Rain. Sorry, Izzy Dame then hits a code breaker to Zarya, but then she had no effect. Zarya is an absolute monster. So Izzy hits her finisher, one of her finishers, the code breaker. Zarya just pops right back up from the code breaker and hits Izzy Dame with a massive spear, but Izzy kicks out at 2. Unbelievable. What a match. So then this is where it gets interesting. And I'm like, oh man, they're going to swerve here tonight. We're going to put the title on Nikita Lyons. Natty and Carmen Petrovic come out. They're on the stage. Zarya then runs into a kick from Nikita Lyons. Lizzie Rain then hits a big headbutt. She then slides through the ring, but Izzy Dame moves out of the way. But then out comes Jada Parker to take out Natty. Then Zarya then hits a spear to Carmen Petrovic. Nikita Lyons then delivers a roundhouse kick to Zarya. And now they're back in the ring. It's just Zarya and Nikita at this point in the ring. Zarya then hits Nikita Lyons with another spear, and she follows it up with an F5 for the 1, 2, 3. And your winner of the Fatal 4-Way match and still your women's NXT North American champion, Zarya, in a very hard-fought victory. I will say that Zarya, Nikita Lyons, Izzy Dame, and Lizzie Rain were all phenomenal in this Fatal 4-Way. So I didn't think Izzy Dame was going to win, but at one point, I really thought Nikita was winning. I was like, holy shit. Here we go. So, great match. Second best match on the card tonight besides the main event. So, we didn't see Saquon Sugars. He's back in the back with the WWE Women's NXT Speed Champion. He's actually back there with 2 champions. The Speed Champion, Brandon Sinclair, and the Women's NXT Champion, Kendall Gray. Brand QCC. He's complaining about how no one wants to team with him. Well, he talked about that last week. Dark State burned all those bridges. Kendall then mentions that people don't have a reason to want to work with him. Rand then apologizes for Kendall's honesty, and Saquon is okay with it. So Kendall was just pretty blunt with them. You guys messed everybody over. It's going to be hard to earn people's trust back to make them want to team up with you. And Rand apologized for Kendall's honesty. And I'm telling you, on down the line, we're going to see that Rand turn on Kendall. It's WWE booking 101. Going to happen. So Lola Vice shows up. She said, hola, mama. Or hola, Kendall. Lola then shows up and she tells Kendall that they are not done. And she is getting her title back. Kendall then tells Lola, then if she plans on getting her title back, she better win tonight. Lola then says she will. So we then see Tony D'Angelo walk into Robert Stone's office and says he wants Naraku. Robert Stone says he is trying to protect Tony D. Robert Stone then says Tony D'Angelo will defend his NXT championship against Naraku next week. Tony D then says that's 7 days away, and he is not waiting, which we will see at the end of the show. Robert Stone then says he wants to know what Tony D is going to do, and we find out at the end. So let's move on. We're moving on to the next matchup of the night. Another member of Vanity Project, Jackson Drake, makes his way down to the ring, accompanied down to the ring by Mika Lockwood and the Vanity Project, and so he goes one-on-one with Tavion Heights. So both men are in the ring. The match starts off with both men locking up. Jackson applies a side headlock. He then brings Tavion Heights to his knees. Tavion Heights is then right back up. Tavion slams Jackson Drake down to the mat multiple times. Tavion then applies a rear chin lock in the middle of the ring. He then applies a front face lock. Tavion Heights then hits a back suplex. Jackson Drake then hits Tavion Heights with a big boot. Tavion Heights then sends Jackson Drake into the corner. Back in the ring, Tavion Heights hits Jackson Drake with a power bomb for only a count of 2. Jackson Drake then tries to fight back, but Tavion Heights hits him with a clothesline for a count of 2. Jackson Drake then hits a senton for a near fall. Both men are now exchanging strikes in the middle of the ring. Jackson Drake then applies an ankle lock. Tavion Heights then gets free but runs into a huge cutter. Jackson Drake then goes for a DDT, but Tavion Heights intercepts and hits him with a Northern Lights suplex for only a count of 2. Tavion Heights then hits a forearm on Jackson. Jackson chops Tavion down. Both men are now exchanging strikes in the middle of the ring. Tavion then sends Jackson Drake over the top rope, wiping out the Vanity Project in the process. Always a numbers game with Vanity Project. Back in the ring, one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Brad Baylor, tries to run interference, but Tavion Heights knocks him off the apron. And then Jackson Drake then rolls up Tavion Heights for the 1, 2, 3. So we saw the number 1 contenders match a few weeks back before Great American Bash where Tavion Heights defeated Jackson Drake. But Jackson Drake returned the favor tonight and gets the victory over Tavion Heights, which means, in my opinion, he's the number 1 contender for Miles Bourne's NXT North American Championship. So, we saw her last week make her NXT debut, long-awaited NXT debut. Let me just adjust my headset really quick. Much better. It's starting to warm up in here. All right. And my phone said not so fast. So we saw her last week. There was a lot of speculation on when she had signed, where she was going to be, was she going to go to the main roster. She shows up last week at the end of the episode, and she attacks Tatum Paxley. She puts her in a Lex Luger type torture rack. I'm still getting back to my notes, guys. My phone like crashed out. I'm right there though. Dang, Jackson Drake match was long. I have a lot of notes. All right. So we see Rena Vulcan. She cuts a promo. It's a little video package type promo. She says it does not matter what drives you away. Vulcan then says you judge the cover while not worrying about the inevitable. Rena then says she wasn't born to meet your expectations. Rena then says she will knock over the table. Rena Vulcan then says she is one of one. I thought I had a comment. Rena then says she will not announce herself. Rena then says she is a force of nature and she will make her debut next week. And next week she will. Rena Vulcan will go one-on-one with someone that was in LFG every single season except for this one. On LFG, she was known as Danny Ray, one of my first ever WWE NXT LFG follows on X. But she is going by Skylar Ray. So Skylar Ray is going to get fed to Rena Vulcan next week on NXT. I believe Skylar Ray is going to put up a fight because she's very feisty. Former Tennessee Titans cheerleader. But Rena Vulcan is definitely going to dominate. She is a force to be reckoned with. So we see Noam Dar and Romeo Marino in the back. Saquon Sugar is all night trying to find two partners to go up against Dark State next week. So we see both of them in the back. Saquon Sugar stops by, and Noam asks if he has found partners yet. Noam says Saquon is hard to trust. Saquon then says he will go at it by himself if he has to. Robert Stone intervenes. He says he needs partners. Romeo then perks up and says he wants to be Saquon's partners. Romeo then says Dark State are former tag team champions. Saquon then asks when was the last time Noam backed down from a fight. Noam then agrees to be his partner. So next week on NXT, on next Tuesday, we're going to see Romeo Moreno and Noam Dar and Saquon Sugar take on Dark State on NXT. So Saquon has found him two partners at last. Thank God. So then, it is Ren QCC again. We see Ren Sinclair. She talks about her upcoming potential opponents. Kendall Gray. Kendall Gray then says she does not care who she faces. Kendall Gray then says she is ready to run it back with Callie. Callie Armstrong shows up. Callie Armstrong then says she is going to win and she will be coming for that title. Kendall then tells Callie to win to see what happens the next time they fight. Callie says she wanted to get her lick back for what happened on Evolve. And then Kendall talks about how she made her tap also in that promo as well. So Callie's walking away. And we see Jada Parker. And Callie said, What are you looking at? Jada Parker tells Callie to keep that attitude because Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice won't care about her nickname. And then out of nowhere, Nikita Lyons, Natty, and Carmen Petrovic attack Jada Parker, which will lead to the low-key legend herself, Natty, going one-on-one with Jada Parker next week on NXT. So very stacked card for NXT next week. So, as I just mentioned, it is announced that next week, Tony D'Angelo will defend his NXT title against Naraku, which will be a street fight. In the main event, Saquon Sugars, Noam Dar, and Romeo Moreno will face Dark State, and Rena Vulcan goes one-on-one with Skylar Ray. And then right at the end of the television program, it is announced that Natty will go one-on-one with Jada Parker, and I believe it's Hank Walker is going to be facing Keanu Carver as well. Big Joseph announces that Natty will run it back with Jada Parker next week. So we see Sean Spears, former member of the Cullen, with Nico and Izzy Dame. He cuts a promo. Sean Spears says that NXT is about cultivating talent, and he believes that. Sean then says that was his intention when he created the Cullen. Sean Spears then says the drive reminded him of the time at Full Sail. Sean Spears then says, Izzy, you have become everything he wanted and more. Sean Spears then says, Nico, following in the footsteps, and he is proud of the steps you took. Spears then says, when you put him through the table, you took 2 steps back. Spears then says, if you thought you knew everything, he would know that he would have gone after him. Spears then says, let's find out how much you have actually learned. So looking forward to Nico and Sean having that one-on-one match because it's coming. So let's get to the main event in the Michael Buffer boys. It is the main event of the evening. So this is going to be a triple threat for the #1 contender for Kendall Gray's NXT Women's Championship. And this match was a cooker. Kalani Jordan, who has not had a NXT Women's Championship match yet. She makes her way down the ring first, followed by the former NXT Women's Champion and one half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championship. But with Mr. Iguana, I don't remember the last time they defended those titles, guys. I think one day when after SummerSlam, when it slows down a little bit, I want to just do a show where I bring a couple, like maybe people in the comments, and we just kind of go over every single title in the business and just make our predictions, like as fans, on who we think is going to be the one to dethrone them, and then come back to it maybe in 6 months or 3 months or a year and see who got it right or how close we were. So Lola Vice makes her way out, followed by Callie Armstrong. This is the WWE NXT Championship #1 contender triple threat match. One half of the AAA Mixed Tag Team Champions, Lola Vice versus Kalani Jordan versus Too Strong Callie Armstrong. All three ladies are in the ring. The match starts off with all three women staring each other down. Kalani Jordan and Lola Vice then get into a shoving match. They then send Callie Armstrong over the top rope. Lola Vice then applies a sleeper hold on Kalani. Callie Armstrong then enters the fray and she drives her shoulder into the midsection of both of them. Callie then sends herself into the ring post, though. Lola Vice then hits a series of kicks to Kalani Jordan. Kalani then pulls in a referee to take control of the match. Lola Vice then pounds away Kalani Jordan. Callie Armstrong then hits a double clothesline, and she takes the fight to both women. Lola Vice then tries to fight back, but Kalani Jordan drags her to the outside and hits her with the clothesline. Back in the ring, Kalani Jordan hits a Hurricane Rana on Callie. She follows it up with a standing dropkick for a count of 2. Lola Vice then applies the guillotine to Callie Armstrong, but Kalani Jordan breaks up the fall with the super kick. Lola Vice then takes Kalani Jordan out on the outside. Callie Armstrong then hits a crossbody, wiping out everyone. Back in the ring, Kalani Jordan and Callie Armstrong form a temporary alliance to launch a 2-on-1 attack on Lola Vice. Kalani Jordan then sends Callie Armstrong to the floor, so that 2-on-1 thing didn't last very long. Kalani then goes for a Boston Crab. Callie Armstrong does the same thing that Kalani did and gives her a taste of her own medicine. Kalani Jordan then goes for a full Nelson on Lola Vice, but Lola Vice bites out of it. Lola Vice then hits a series of hip attacks to both women. Callie Armstrong then hits Lola Vice with a spine buster, and Kalani breaks up the fall with a stomp. Kalani Jordan then hits a German suplex to Callie Armstrong. She then follows it up with a leg drop to Lola Vice. She then goes for a split-legged moonsault, but Lola Vice puts her in a triangle chokehold. Callie Armstrong then steamrolls both women. She goes for a powerbomb, but Lola Vice breaks up the fall with a knee at about 2 3/4. Lola Vice then applies an armbar on Callie Armstrong. Kalani Jordan then hits a frog splash for a near fall. All three women are now trading strikes in the middle of the ring. Lola Vice then super kicks Kalani Jordan, and then Callie Armstrong then hits a power slam to Lola Vice. And then she hits her finisher, the Callie connection to Lola Vice, but Lola rolls to the outside of the ring. Kalani Jordan enters back into the ring, but Callie hits her with the power slam, but Kalani kicks out. Kalani then super kicks Callie. Lola Vice then follows it up with the back fist, but then Kalani Jordan then hits a springboard elbow to Lola. She then heads up to the top rope and hits a 450 splash. Lola Vice then hits a big kick to Kalani Jordan and somehow just falls over on top of Callie Armstrong for the 1, 2, 3. Lola Vice picks up the win in a banger triple threat match and she just dropped the title at NXT Great American Bash, and she is now the #1 contender to move on to face the new Women's NXT Champion, Kendall Gray. And I take it that match will take place at NXT Heatwave, but I don't know if that's the case because that's well over, that's like 7 weeks away. That's at the end of August. So are they going to do this on a NXT show instead of Heatwave? That would be my best bet. We'll see, though. So after the match, great match, best match of the night. We head to the outside performance center. You can hear Big Joseph Booker T saying something is going on backstage. We see officials running to the parking lot to find Tony D'Angelo and Naraku brawling with one another. Officials then separate both men, and Robert Stone informs them that their NXT Championship match will be a street fight, and the show comes to a close. So that is the NXT recap, guys. The matches involved for our next week. We're going to see Hank Ledger, or Hank Walker, I'm sorry, going up against Kiana Carver. Noam Dar, Romeo Moreno, and Saquon Sugar taking on Dark State. We're going to see Rena Balkan going one-on-one with Skylar Ray. We're going to see Natty going one-on-one with Jada Parker. In the main event, we're going to see Tony D'Angelo defend the NXT Men's Championship against Naraku in a street fight in the main event. So this show is at least an 8 for me. NXT just never disappoints. I think NXT puts on a great show. Shout out to everybody that's listening. We didn't quite get to 100 views, but that's pretty typical for NXT, even though it's still, I mean, it's 11:30 on the East Coast, but still fairly early. I do apologize for it really wasn't my fault. StreamYard played up. I had to make a whole new stream. But let's shout out to the people in the comments. And then I'll have some announcements, and then we will get out of here shortly. Shout out to Kyle Man Anthony. I will see him tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, for the Saturday Night's Main Event prediction show. And then followed by that, we will be live at 8 p.m. Eastern for Queens of WWE episode number 5. Shout out to Greg. Follow both of them. They also do the rundown every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, an hour before Raw. Thank you, Greg, for reposting the stream. Tribal Kingpin said he is locked in and ready for 3 months of recap shows of Big Brother Season 28. Glad to see. Make sure you share with your friends, man. If you know anybody who enjoys Big Brother, bring them on in here because I want to get a big crowd, bring a new group of fans into the channel, and who knows, a lot of them could be wrestling fans as well. So looking forward to that Thursday night. So Tribal Kingpin says, do you think Shiloh Hill is moving towards becoming a Bray Wyatt type character? I can see it. I can definitely see it. So tonight, with his laugh and the way he was acting, I definitely 100% believe that. I mean, that's a lot to live up to, though, man. Bray's so legendary. Such an emphatic storyteller. Works so hard on the outside with his opponents on exactly how he wanted to do things. But definitely some similarities there. Shiloh Hill could be working towards that for sure. Which woman impressed you the most tonight between the Fatal 4-Way? Nikita Lyons. Zarya is just Zarya. She's incredible. If you're talking about like, in the main event, that was a triple threat. So in the Fatal 4-Way, I'm gonna say Nikita Lyons, just from where she started. I mean, Zarya is Zarya. She is just unbelievable. I believe she's gonna be NXT Women's North American Champion a while, and I do believe before she goes up to the main roster to eventually feud with Sol Ruka, that Zarya is gonna be champion a while. But if I'm have to pick one out of the three outside of Zarya, it has to be Nikita Lyons. Her development, her character, I've covered her a lot on LFG this season. For me, she's definitely. I love Izzy. I'm not taking anything away from her. I think she's fantastic. I love Izzy Dame, Lizzie Rain. She's only been there a few months. I'm not a big fan of her character though. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not the big. I love JC Jane, but let's face it, she ain't JC Jane. She's great in the ring. Lizzie Rain is fantastic in the ring, but at this point in time, I cannot latch on to her character. So, but if I had to pick one outside of Zarya, I would pick Nikita Lyons 100%. Thank you, Greg, for the repost. We have reached over 100 viewers, so thank you for that. Hoping tomorrow for the prediction show we can get. It's going to be so difficult. I'm not dreading it, but I just hope it's not like a flop because I'm going to have people talk for a while. Before matches, the Saturday Night Main Event card is just so atrocious. It's so bad, guys. It's just so bad. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We have before, so we've done more. One of the Saturday Night Main Event was worse than this. So, in the triple threat, Callie Armstrong is a cornerstone. She's going to be an NXT Women's Champion one day. She's probably going to be a WWE Women's Champion one day, but she's still fairly new. Lola's done everything, so I was very shocked to see her win. Kalani Jordan is the one that I really want to see win that Women's NXT Championship before she goes up to the main roster, but WWE is not, or NXT, WWE, whoever, is not looking like that's going to be the case. So hopefully I answered that question for you. And I will let you know, Tribal Kingpin, you are one of my favorite listeners because Sunday Night Scoops, I get a lot of questions, and you're one of the only people that does not ask me a question that when I go live on Sundays and I give my news for 30 to 40 minutes, and then I open up Q&A to everybody on Twitter and YouTube, you're one of the few that doesn't ask me a question that I've already answered in the news. That drives me absolutely insane. It's like every single week. I love Fanatic. He's so like emphatic about. He was the first one to subscribe to my channel. He's really been trying to push really hard to get people to sign up, which it's just naturally happening through the Discord. Once I forward over something that I put that happens, they're like, oh, they message me, oh, how much does it cost? How do I get signed up? And it's just like, oh, well, it's just easy. I signed up 3 people while NXT was on. So I believe I have 20 people at least in there. So, but I appreciate your questions, Tribal Kingpin. Look forward to you coming in for the Big Brother show. I'm sure that you're very knowledgeable on that as well. So looking forward to talking about that with you as well on Big Brother. But you are one of the few that doesn't ask me a question on Scoop that I have already answered in the news, which is I answer it again, but man, sometimes I just wish they would just listen to the news and then they wouldn't have to ask that. Thank you to Greg for reposting the stream again and again. Shout out to Tribal Kingpin. Appreciate you, EVP. Thanks for answering my question. Anytime, brother. Anytime. Always one of my favorite guests here. So, a couple quick news breaks. Again, there will be a drawing on the first Sunday Night Scoops in August. I'm putting everybody's name that has showed up in the comments on every Sunday or every Scoop show in July. I will randomize as I did this past Sunday, and we will draw a winner, $25 on the first Sunday of August. And if that stream from this past Sunday can get to 10 likes, all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel and hit that like button. We're 3 likes away, guys. Go tell your friends to go to that page. If they're not subscribed, if they are, tell them to subscribe. Hit that like button. Get us 3 more likes, and this coming Sunday, I will do another giveaway for the people in the comments. Same person can't win. Raymond cannot win. He has a membership for a month, and then he either has to pay or he can stay in the Discord and just get the news when I give it to him in a DM or on Scoops. But if I get to 10 likes, I will do another giveaway because it's starting to, my members are starting to accumulate very fast. But Sunday Night Scoops is not going anywhere. Analytically, it is the #1 show on my channel. So that is a tribute to you guys because you guys show up every single Sunday with your questions. So thank you for that. Also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, once I get to 300 subscribers, I don't care if it's in the middle of a stream. If I get that 300 subscriber, as long as it stays above 300 for 24 hours on that following stream, I will do a giveaway for one. Put everybody that's subscribed or that's active in my channel in a random. I probably will put it on a wheel and try to put it on this channel where you guys can see the wheel spin. The winner will get $100 when I get to 300 subscribers. 400, I don't know the price yet on that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But 500 subscribers, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. So you guys, do what you can. I mean, you can't make miracles, but I've come a long ways in 12 months to get halfway to 500. So maybe in another year, I can get that up, get to that other half, and get to 500. So thank you guys so much for that. So we are live on my YouTube channel. We're live on my X page, and we're also live on DW Television X page. Make sure you follow DW Television on X. Everyone affiliated with DW Television, starting off with the CEO himself, Miami the Great, which you will see him tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, live with me here on the EVP show for the Saturday Night Main Event Prediction Show. But Miami also does Inside the NFL Mind with Miami on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern. Starting at the end of August, beginning of September, you can tune in every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern as me and Miami will be back for the EVP Miami NFL recap shows. We started last season and it was a huge success, so we are bringing it back. Also, speaking of Miami, his co-host and the HR of DWE, Final Boss Baby. Make sure you follow Miami and Final Boss Baby on X, and then you can go to their YouTube page, which is Talk It Up Podcast. Give them a subscription. Tune in every Saturday to DWE Radio. You can catch them either on DWE Television's X, Talk It Up Podcast, on YouTube, on Twitch, DWE TV, DWE Television, and also on Spotify. Also, the World of Greg, which we see here, the repost and stream. He is the marketing director for the marketing director for DWE. Does a phenomenal job of that. Just superb job of that. Him and Kyle the Man Anthony every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can catch them on the run. It's called the Rundown. They run down the entire Raw card and get you ready for Monday Night Raw. So stay tuned. Catch them on DW Television page. Also, this coming up Monday, as they will get you ready for Monday Night Raw, which is the Raw after Saturday Night Main Event. No matches have been announced for that yet, so it's a little difficult for the Raw after and PLE, but they will do it and they will get you through it. Speaking of Kyle the Man Anthony, you will also see him tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern here live on the EVP show as we do the Saturday Night's Main Event Prediction Show. And then after that, at 8 p.m. Eastern, he is the host. I will be joining him as the co-host of Queens of WWE episode number 5, as we will be talking about everything that happened in the women's division on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Make sure you follow Greg and Kyle on X. And tune in to Queens of WWE tomorrow night. Should be a really great discussion with me and Kyle. Also, Director Reg. After Slam podcast on X, Instagram, I believe TikTok as well, and on YouTube. Congrats to him on 5,000 subscribers. He works really hard. He does a lot of different stuff with wrestling promotions, interviews, just a lot of different stuff. He's doing it all. So hats off to him. Great guy, great page. He's definitely inspiration to me. That's why I work so hard. I want to be able to get to that 5,000. We, at the end of the day, we're all, most of us are men in the group, except for Final Boss Baby, but we all motivate each other. We all want to be better, and it's not anybody being better than the other person, but if you're able to motivate each other, then that is what makes a great team. So shout out to After Sign Podcast, Smoke Session Podcast. You catch them on Wednesdays as well as the Sports Jedi Network. I believe they are still rebuilding their YouTube page, which was absolutely awful what happened to them. So you guys make sure to sub to them. Help them. I believe they were like 20,000 subscribers. That's just crazy. So you guys help them out and give them a sub on YouTube as well. And everyone affiliated with Gimmick Table Media. So this has been your NXT recap live here on the EVP show, Tuesday, July 14th, 2026. Shout out to the 131 people we have watching live. I will be back shortly to tell you where you can find me on my socials and what I have coming up for you guys for the rest of this week.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go, show recap prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the NXT recap live here on the EVP show. As far as my socials, scrolling across the bottom of the screen, all my links are in my bio. You can find me on X at EVP2JP when Elon allows it. I've gotten a lot of follow requests over the last few days, so I think I'm kind of maxed out. I don't know what the hell's going on. It just doesn't. If the numbers are not like pretty close together, then it's all, I don't know. I don't understand what's going on with X. But you can find me on X on EVP2JP. Send me a follow. Eventually, I will follow you back. You go all the way up to the top of my X page. My YouTube page is pinned at the top. Hit that retweet button. Help me get to 300 subscribers, because that is a decent giveaway for one person to win out of 300 subscribers. So definitely do that. You can find me on Instagram at EVPCJP. It is a business page, but my YouTube is in my bio. You can catch all the videos that Miami and the World of Greg make, or my upcoming stream. My Saturday night main event prediction videos are already on Instagram, so you can check those out. TikTok at Brady the Goat 21. That's at BRADY DA Goat 21. Also, business page YouTube is in the bio. But you can also see all my upcoming stream videos made by Miami and Greg as well. Last but not least, most importantly, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please help me get to 300 subscribers. If you can't find my YouTube channel on any of my social media platforms, I wouldn't know why, but if you can't, go to the search bar and type in at the EVP show. If you are subscribed, please turn the notification bell on and come and join me every day this week for daily wrestling content and a new show starting Thursday. And if you do go back and watch NXT on this channel later on tonight or tomorrow, leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought about NXT. Sometimes I'll post stuff in there about, on my channel. Are you guys ready for SummerSlam? Do you guys want to see a Big Brother show? So I am trying to connect with the people that are subscribed. So always be on the lookout for that. I always post polls and stuff like that on the channel. So you guys just be aware of that. Once again, if you have watched this stream tonight, please go and hit that like button. And go back to the Sunday Scoop show from Sunday. Hit that like button to help me get to 10 likes so we can do another fun giveaway for the exclusive package this coming Sunday. And speaking of that, I have an exclusive channel that's been open since July 1st. Tomorrow, July 15th, which means half the month is over. So get in there while you can, because a payment is due on the 1st of every month. It is month to month, no contract. You get all my exclusive news. The whole Discord does not see that. It's just me, the other co-owner, the mods, and the people that pay the $3 a month to see all of the exclusive news. So don't miss out. DM me if you find me on Discord or Twitter, X, whatever you cool kids are calling it nowadays. Send me a DM. Say I want to get in. I'll tell you, it's very simple. It'll take 5 minutes. That being said, what I have coming up tomorrow, it's another doubleheader day for me. First off, I will be joined by 9 others as we predict a banging, keyword banging, Saturday night main event card. 6 p.m. Eastern, me and 9 others will be doing the Saturday night main event prediction show. So if you're not on that panel, make sure that you come in the comments and leave your predictions in the comments. I will be hosting a SummerSlam prediction show. That was my first ever stream here on the EVP show. So it's going to be bittersweet. Going all the way back to first time I ever streamed on here was a SummerSlam prediction show. So we will be doing another one in 2 weeks. On 2 weeks from tomorrow, we will be predicting. I'm sure we're going to have a full panel for that. We will be predicting both nights on one prediction show, all 13 or 14 matches. So looking forward to that. So after you join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern for the Saturday Night Main Event prediction show, come join me and Kyle live at 8 p.m. Eastern for Queens of WWE episode number 5. And then Thursday, it is the debut of a new show to the EVP show, the WWE Network, WWE channel. It will be Big Brother Season 28 Week 1 recap show live straight after the eviction. So I believe it'll be around 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, or 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Sorry, it might be 8:30. I don't know. I'll post it on Twitter. I can't remember which one it is. I'll have to look at the schedule. But I will cover the entire week. Who won HOH? Who won Power of Veto? Who the nominations are? Did the nominations change? Who won the blockbuster? And ultimately, who is the first person evicted from the Big Brother house? We will cover everything involved. I will actually go through the entire cast of everyone that was casted for Big Brother this season, starting from the first episode. Should probably going to be a little bit longer episode than week 2 because, you know, I'm going to have to go through the entire cast and all that. And tell you guys who all is on the cast. I'm not going to give you a specific breakdown of everywhere, like where they live, what city, all that, but I will give you guys the names and stuff. But that will be Wednesday. I believe it's at 9 or 9:30 p.m. Thursday at 9 or 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then I'm back Friday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern for the SmackDown recap. Saturday, once Saturday night's main event concludes, you can catch me at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time for the Saturday night's main event recap show. And then Sunday is doubleheader Sunday again, starting off with Sunday night scoops with the EVP at 6 p.m. Eastern and following up with the nightcap, the last part of doubleheader Sunday. We only have 3 episodes left, I believe. LFG Season 3, Episode 13 at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. It is super late. But only 3 more episodes. And then Sunday will just go back to just a regular Sunday night scoop. So until LFG starts, if they have another season. So that being said, that is my schedule for the rest of the week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all the love and support. And I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE. DWE is the only place to be. Hopefully you guys have a happy Wednesday, and tomorrow, doubleheader Wednesday for me. Come and join all of us at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for the Saturday Night Main Event Prediction Show, and then tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern with the host, Kyle the Man Anthony, and myself, the co-host, as we will be doing Queens of WWE episode number 5. Happy Wednesday to everyone. Good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, everyone.